Alrighty guys, today I'm going to be doing a technical breakdown on the SUPER73 RXE Adventure Series e-bike. This is the 2024 model. It's in the Panthro blue paint and it has the matte black accents. I was able to pick up mine from a local distributor here at Noosa. So there's really only one actual distributor here in Australia, and that's down in Sydney. So you really just got to find a reseller in your area or just order one online because they're limited distribution. And Ben Buckler are the only guys down in Sydney who actually really get them. So the other guys are just reselling their bikes. So that's an important thing to know when you're going in to buy one. The only real modifications that I've done are the number plate. The reason I've done the number plate is that when I first originally saw the imagery online of these bikes, the bike that I saw had this number plate. So it was a must-have for me. I think most of all, it 100% proves that I'm a total wanker. But it also proves that the bikes are just, somewhat of a, signature piece just on their own. So it stands out, it gets a lot of looks, but most importantly, it proves that I'm a total wanker. But I love it. The only other things that I've done is put on a bell just for all the people on the path, and also a phone holder, and then a camera for an action camera. That's all I've done. Otherwise, I've left it pretty much stock standard. Before I get too much into the numbers, I guess it's important to mention that, as I said, with Ben Buckler being the only distributor, they only get a certain number of bikes at a time. So you don't really get 100% choice, I guess, if you wait around too long. So my original first choice was the dark earth color, but I had to settle for the Panthro blue. I was really happy with that. I think it actually suits better in retrospect, but I guess when you're looking at one, they're a unique collector's item. So if you see something you like, jump on it quickly. And that's what makes them sort of unique, exclusive, and kind of special. People have compared them to like a Ducati of the e-bike world. So that being said, I guess with SUPER73, you're getting something special. But there is a lot of other bikes coming onto the market. There's other potential competitors for this, top contender spot. So I guess they need to watch out because there's a lot of growth in the area. It's bigger than the EV car market. So SUPER73, whilst it's good, it sits at a very high price point, and there's a lot of things that are coming in cheaper with very good specifications, and this has a lot to live up to. But I can tell you, I've enjoyed every cent I've spent on it. Everything about this bike is impressive. All right, so let's get into what we're actually here for, and that's the hardware, the actual technical information. So that's what makes e-bikes, I guess, stand out from each other. I guess it's really hard with the SUPER73 to justify all the money. So I guess I'm not trying to sell that to you. I think you have to be emotionally attached to the bike somewhat. The technical specs don't speak for themselves, but they're impressive nonetheless. So let me delve right into that. So the first and most important thing is that the quality and aesthetic and design is of the highest quality. When you come across one in real life, it really is stunning. They're made of aluminium steel. They're made from aircraft aluminium. So basically what that means is that they're very strong, but then they've also used very good workmanship to get all the welds done and everything too. So you can put it through pretty rigorous situations and it still stands up pretty good. It looks and feels the goods when you're on it, and when you look at it, you definitely get that feel from it. The next most important thing, I think, is the motor. The motor is a hub motor. It sits in the rear. I think rear drive is the best, and it's a 1000 watt peak, 750 watt nominal, and restricted to 250 in the normal mode. The motor is custom from SUPER73. They take their motor design really seriously. I think they over-engineer the quality and reduce the speed and power in order to increase the quality and longevity. I think that's a good approach. Some bikes out there come with 2 motors. Some bikes out there have 3000 watt motors. I guess you can approach those how you want. I guess for the moment I'm focusing on this and the viability of this bike over time, because they're asking such a lot of money for it. I guess that's what I'm interested in. But there's lots of good bikes out there. This is definitely not the most powerful in regards to motor or motors, but I think it's a reliable one, and I think it's a good enough one for fun. To fuel that motor, I think it's important to have a reliable battery. E-bikes have a really bad name for having fires and all that sort of thing. So having a high quality lithium battery is important. The Super 73 uses a custom battery. It's a 20 amp hour battery. It's 53 volts, and that allows you to get about 100 kilometer range, and it can go up to about 50 kilometers an hour on private property if you have the throttle activated. And so with that 20 amp battery, the 3 amp charger takes about 7 hours to charge from 0 to full. But you never take it to 0, you usually take it to about 20%. So it takes about 4 to 5 hours from 30%, 20 to 30% to 100%. So usually if you allow yourself 4 to 5 hours, you should be fine for a proper charge up, which is very reasonable. I don't need to charge mine very regularly. I thought I'd need to charge more, but it's very, very sustainable. So with all that, it'll carry about 150 kilos in total. I've never really had that much weight on it. I weigh about 70 to 80 kilos, I'm not really sure, but I've only really had that and a little bit of extra. So I'm sure I can do the 150, but I probably won't ever test that out. So the motor, the battery, and everything is controlled by a custom Super 73 controller. They call it crystal or diamond display, probably diamond based on the shape there. And that gives you all the heads-up display you need. It's very simple. They've kept it really basic. That's the same with the app. There's not really too many options there, and they're pretty lame, to be honest. They really just give you the basic controls over the modes that the bike can have. There's 4 modes, and then you can sort of see what speed you're going, and you can do recordings, but it's very basic control. There's other ways to do that better. The electronic system is very reliable. It's very easy to use, so I think the simplicity is probably a good thing overall. One of the things you feel straight away with the Super 73 is how organic the pedal assistance feels. Whatever they're doing there to control that feels really good, and I'd give it 5 out of 5 for that for sure. Combined with all those other electrics is this cool headlight as well. It's a nice crisp clean blue light, big fan of that, and you can modify them too, but for now I'm really happy. The app lets you control that too. An important part of having all that power is being able to put that power to the ground, and having a good gearing system is important. Super 73 does a custom gearing system. It's a pretty rudimentary front crank here for the main gear, but then here at the back you've got an 8-gear system that helps to deliver a nice organic feel, like I was saying, when you're pedaling. And you've got a big chunky derailleur, and I never get tired of looking at that. That's an awesome piece of kit, and it's been really reliable and super smooth. Just needs a clean out every so often if you're going on big, long, dirty rides. So yeah, really good, reliable powertrain there. Really important if you want to have a good e-bike because it's so heavy and powerful. So apparently there's a 10-gear upgrade you can get for it. I wouldn't bother with anything like that. The bike feels really, really good as it is. You feel like a cyborg when you're riding it. It's very exhilarating, intuitive. There's nothing that I would add to make it any better. So with that part of it, I'm super happy. And with all that as well, you get the Super 73 Cross DNM shock absorber coil system here with this really motocross style positioning, which gives you excellent rebound options. On the back, it feels really good when you're going down really tricky situations. So I've experienced that firsthand. And then it's also got this custom motorbike style front fork system as well, which is super cool. Makes it look super aggressive and unique. And those combinations was another huge reasons why this bike was such a standout for me. So once you're hurtling down a mountain at about, 30, 40 kilometers an hour, maybe more, and you're 70 kilos plus 40 kilos, so 110 kilos or whatever that is, and you need to stop pretty effectively. So to do so, Super 73 goes to TEKTRO for help here. There is versions with other brands, I think it's DORADO or something like that, but this one has the TEKTRO DORADO mineral oil brakes, calipers and discs brakes, which have been really, really good. I've had it for 18 months, haven't needed to replace the pads once, done just over 1,000 kilometers on it. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Been really happy with both the responsiveness, reliability, and just the feel and everything too. So yeah, big thumbs up for that. You'd think with a big heavy bike that might be an issue. Yeah, there's so many cool parts on this bike, and arguably probably the coolest is the GRZLY tires. These are custom made for Super 73 bikes. They probably fit on other bikes, but they're made by someone pretty cool but they've got custom details, custom sizing, custom knobbiness and branding on the tyre tread itself. They've been really good on mud and gravelly surfaces. If it's raining on like the roads and painted or wooded surfaces, they're not real good. So I guess just pick your surface with it, but super cool, aggressive look and pretty effective on most things. But I definitely wouldn't change them for the world. I love the tyres. Nothing can go wrong with knobby tyres. You see that in the four-wheel driving world. They're just good aesthetic and fun to play with. So just for the sizing on the tyres on the front, it's a 20-inch diameter with a 4.5-inch width, and on the rear, a 20-inch diameter with a 5-inch width. The 5-inch looks a bit bigger than standard because they sort of flare out on the edge there. So the tyres aren't the only thing that's custom. It has a custom seat, custom fenders all around, custom battery holder. It does come with custom pedals and horn, both of which are pretty lame. The horn's just really obnoxious. I guess it's pretty effective, but yeah, just obnoxious. The pedals are probably the lamest thing on it, but that's a story for later on. Overall, the bike is just mint. There's really nothing to complain about. Even after 18 months of solid use, it's still the best thing I've ever bought. The bike has all these different mounting spots, which are pretty typical on bikes, and you know, you can think of the standard things like locks and ID tags and that sort of thing, but I look forward to exploring what other options might be there for modification. When you buy into the SUPER73 ethos, it comes with some expectation, and part of these videos and this technical breakdown is to sort of, I guess, set a benchmark for that expectation. It hasn't let me down so far, so I look forward to bringing you more content that sort of explores SUPER73 and the potential for creativity, exploration, fun, and just raw excitement. So much fun. And I really appreciate your support. So thanks for watching. If you like the content, don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Really appreciate your support. Just trying to see if there's anything I've forgotten, but there's just heaps of cool different SUPER73 sort of accents that really make the bike stand out, and I think it just makes it feel special. It definitely grabs eyes wherever it goes. Oop, there's a stone stuck in the tyre there. That shows you how grizzly they are. Does the horn work? Nah, it doesn't work without the power. I'll show you when I got that turned on. Comes with a kickstand. Obviously there's a kickstand. That's been good. I'm definitely into these white sidewalls with branding and information. That's definitely something that's going to follow through in all of my future endeavors. I think that's pretty much it.